My special mystery guest is going to tear the roof off of this place.
Oh my God!
Triple brand battle royal.
It's a surprise! And there's a plan!
I'm gonna give an opportunity of a lifetime to any superstar out there for my SmackDown Women's Championship, okay?
I just love surprises.
You guys gave us the wrong,
Welcome, baby, ring the bell. This is DS.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And I am the interdimensional Shiro, Moxie Molly.
We are here for a Clash of Champions review, and this pay-per-view, I thought it would be the most predictable pay-per-view of all time, and turned out to be the most unpredictable of all. The match cards changed last minute. So let's talk about that. Oh my God. Right before the pay-per-view started, we learned that the SmackDown Women's Championship is not going to happen. And we also learned that Women's Tag Team Championship is not going to happen. So we were like, what the hell happened?
At first I was like, wait, what? Why? I'm like, oh yeah, there's a global pandemic going on. I almost for like half a second forgot why that would happen. Like for some reason I thought like, how dare they? They're screwing them over. Oh wait. Like,
oh yeah.
My mindset.
There's no laws in 2020. COVID, it upsets us all.
WWE's official statement is that Nikki Cross, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler are not medically cleared. We already kind of knew the rumblings about Nikki Cross because she didn't show up on SmackDown right before pay-per-view, but Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler kind of happened out of nowhere. They were exchanging tweets about it online saying that Shayna's expecting.
That was so funny because Nia's the one that tweeted that, so it makes it even like goes perfectly with the type of relationship that they have.
And then Shayna tweeted, I'm expecting to die from a broken heart caused by the Vikings. Don't know what that means.
Football!
The TV show. Oh, I thought it was the TV show. I was like,
You know, this is one thing about Nia that I love. My cousin's The Rock. I don't give a f. She tweeted out, girl, I could not be better. I apologize for the announcement, scared some, but all is great and healthy on my end, my tech partners end as well. And she said lies about WWE saying that they're not medically cleared.
So then this makes me think that maybe the Riot Squad was not medically cleared. But then again, why wouldn't they just wrestle somebody else? But also, I feel like maybe they were not cleared due to like just in case, because I'm sure they like maybe had gone over their match before, or, like had some sort of interaction. So maybe like their test came back positive, but not Shania's. So maybe it's out of abundance of caution.
We also had a past case where Natalya and TJ were quarantined, even though they were test came out negative. Knowing that we have at least two people in these three people that are very close with NXT superstars, Nikki obviously with Killian and Shayna rumored to be with Dakota. Maybe they're just taking precaution.
I do think it's probably precaution. I think honestly taking the temperature means nothing. If those people, you know, definitely have been around someone that are around it, it's precaution. Listen, there's a lot of old people in suits in the back. We have to protect that.
During Wrestling Observer Radio, they talked about this whole situation. They said, I know at least one of three and probably two of three do not have COVID. They were in contact with someone who does, so it might be even all three. WWE was afraid of COVID spreading and they were in contact, so they were not allowed to be on the show. And on Raw today, Kayla Braxton talked about how they are still not medically cleared, but they will be defending the title when they are cleared. And then they introduced Mandy and Dana on Raw, so I guess they're trying to pump up more talent into the tag division.
Another randomly put together tag team, yeah.
But surprisingly, their looks go together.
Because they're white and blonde.
Mandy had that very, like, almost like a diva era Tori Wilson or Trish Stratus look. I kind of lived for it.
I think they actually look really good together as a tag team. I just wish that would have been more of an organic put together as opposed to like, you're a tag team now. That's my only gripe with it. They look great together, very aesthetically pleasing. Just give me it legit, even if it's a backstage segment, them talking by the pink crates, like, hey, let's be a tag team. Even legit, even if it's that would like dramatically improve it in my opinion.
I thought Dana Brooke was Lana, and I was very confused. I was like, why is Lana on both tag teams? What's happening?
Or blonde woman in the ring. That was very confusing.
Blonde.
Right. I was like, WWE has some new technology or something.
But let's talk about two matches that actually took place this night. First, we got WWE Raw Women's Championship match that was originally on kickoff, now moved to the main show. Asuka versus Zelina Vega. Right before this match, Andrade and Angel Garza was discussing about Zelina, and they're like, Zelina Vega is of the past. So it seems like they're moving away from him. Zelina was so short that she did the whole Stacy Keibler entrance on the bottom row.
It was so cute.
What did you think of this match?
I was honestly pleasantly surprised. I will be honest, I didn't expect much from Zelina, and I know that sounds awful, but I didn't. Beginning, I wasn't entertained, but towards the end, where she really has a hand for a bunch of falsies, I started to get really excited about that. And she pulled some stuff out I haven't seen on national television before, so I'm cool with it. I love how she like slid down and like kicked up and stuff like that. I think she made Asuka look good. Was it a 10 out of 10? No. Was it pay-per-view worthy? Not really, but was it a pleasant surprise? Yeah.
She made Asuka look good?
Well, okay. She furthered the thought that Asuka is amazing because Asuka made Asuka look good and Asuka made her look good.
The way that Zelina was booked up to this point, everybody thought, I think it was going to be a squash match, or could have possibly been a squash match, just because of the way she was booked. I mean, I feel so much for Zelina. She's like a manager that knows how to wrestle, as opposed to a wrestler that's also a manager, if that makes sense. So, and especially the way she was booked up to this. And I think that's why it's been like a pleasant surprise, because I think a lot of people did expect that. So it's nice to see that her bring out some really cool moves. And I agree with Moxie that I've never seen before. I could definitely see a little bit of Aleister Black influence in there, but it's kind of cool because it's different, because not a lot of women wrestle that style or know like all those cool transitions, like the kick out. And I love how she was working Asuka's arm the whole time, because generally in a match, if you're going to work a body part, you're going to work the body part of whatever they use for the finish. Somebody has some sort of kick finisher, like a super kick or like the Claymore, like you're going to work your leg. Like, why would you work somebody's arm whenever their finisher is something with a kick? And so since Asuka's locked, her uses her arms for that, so of course she's going to work her arm the whole time. So that made lots of sense psychology-wise. But I totally agree. It was definitely better than I thought. I don't think it was definitely like the best match they could have had. I also don't think they should have had a rematch so fast and Raw. But
I think it helped that their expectation was so low, right? Especially because Zelina, the storyline right before this championship storyline is that she poisoned Bianca's husband, got caught right away, thought there will be a whole swirl, but that was actually her. So it was like, and then she got her ass whooped by Bianca Belair. So I'm like, wait, how is she in this championship storyline again? Because she came out and asked.
Yeah.
Given that she just didn't really wrestle a lot of singles matches, the expectation was very, very low. But I think she did well for what she was given. Surprisingly technical.
Yeah.
It exceeded expectation by a lot, actually.
So do you guys think it's a good thing to have a lower expectation, so that way when they do deliver, we're like, oh, pleasantly surprised? Or should we have a higher expectation and expect good matches?
I want high expectations for pay-per-views.
Same, me too.
I think this would have been great for TV. So at the end of this match, Zelina bows, and then kicks Asuka. And then I was like, shit, is this continuing? I mean, as much as I was excited to see that she did well, I didn't want it to be like another pay-per-view storyline.
Agreed.
I totally agree. And at first I thought it was a little bit weird when she went to go shake her hand. And I'm like, all right, it wasn't that good of a match. Because usually you do that like out of like respect, like, oh man, like you both can go. And like, even if it's a heel versus face, sometimes you do see that when you're like, damn, that was good like sportsmanship outside of the heel and face, is like, that was such a good match that we had to shake hands. But I'm like, that wasn't even that good for y'all to shake hands. I'm like, it was good, but not like, let's shake hands in the middle of the ring good and then bow, the whole Japanese respect thing. And then she kicked her. I was like, no. I was almost more mad about that than her actually doing it. I'm like, no. And it's not even so much I don't want to see him wrestle. It's just like, give us more. Give us more of a story. Give us more of a motivation. Give us more of a build-up. Give us more of Zelina all of a sudden being a wrestler as opposed to just a manager type. I mean, I get they're just like, riding by the seat of their pants, but I just feel like a little bit more storytelling would have made this whole storyline even better.
It's also a really awkward time heading into Hell in a Cell too, because they have draft in the middle. So it would be one of those like weird time where like they are feuding with people that's in a different brand, or like they're feuding with people. Like it's an awkward transition time that always WWE has during that draft period. Don't know what Asuka is going to do heading into Hell in a Cell. But also we saw on Raw, Asuka beat Zelina's ass again.
Actually, I think it might have been a little bit better.
Right?
Like it was a little bit better, a little bit more smoother. I like that we get to see Zelina more as an in-ring competitor. But I almost feel like this match should have been first, and then they would have had a pay-per-view match. It's the whole like out of order thing again that you were talking about yesterday, DS, but it was actually a little bit better.
Zelina pulled some moonsault and she's like, I can do all this.
Totally. I just want somebody to be like, anything for Selena's, because you know Selena, the movie, like that.
I think WWE's almost like, F you to all of us, because we were like, we wanted someone else. We want someone new, and they're like, I guess you have Zelina.
And then we're like, no, not like that. Epitome of the internet wrestling community, though.
From what we saw with Zelina, like if COVID wasn't a thing and she could be in the performance center like 3-4 times a week, then I think the repertoire she pulled out, if she continued to hone those skills, I think she could be a top competitor, honestly. We know she can work on the mic, so I'm interested to see if they begin to start to grow her like via NXT or something.
And also, let's not forget, she was very hardworking throughout the entire quarantine time. So yeah. I guess it just is kind of an award to her. So I'm happy with it. But let's move to SmackDown Women's Championship that we thought was canceled, but Bayley came out and she's now the chairwoman. And then she said she's here for an open challenge. What were you guys thinking when she said she's going to have an open challenge?
I had high hopes, but then I remembered what happens when there's an open challenge or a special guest, that it's going to be somebody that we're like, want about. But I still had high hopes. I felt like we kept on throwing random names out there, being hopeful.
Any superstar out there for my SmackDown Women's Championship. It's a surprise! And there's a plan!
And then, oh, okay.
I don't know. I was hoping maybe someone from Retribution, even though I have no idea what Retribution is. So I was like, this would be a perfect time to like throw someone out there. And then here comes Asuka, like full of energy. And I was like, didn't you just have like a 10-minute match? I was just like, well, we know how this is going to end because no one's leaving here with 2 belts.
Yeah.
I love her, but why?
It's almost like WWE really wants to up Asuka. We love her already. Stop shoving her into a... We've seen this with Asuka like multiple times now. During the Women's Evolution Week, they announced a special guest for the Moment of Bliss. It was Asuka. She was a special entrant into the Open Battle Royale Challenge thing. Asuka won that. It's like Asuka's taking all of this special thing. I understand that there aren't many choices. I mean, it would be great if Melina came out, like the rumor said. I understand that there's not many choices, but at the end of the day, it was a nothing match.
Yeah. Everybody knew how it was going to end. It had to end in a DQ. I almost wish we didn't see Sasha, though. I feel like it was almost too soon to see her. And also, like, you're in a neck brace. Like, if you ever had a neck injury or any type of injury, you're not moving. You're not doing anything. And she's over here beating her up, looking fantastic, looking like a mix of Lita and Aaliyah.
Whale tail.
Who's that?
Whale tail. That's when you can see thong straps.
Oh, whale.
And so I was just more excited by that than whale tail.
She's got that Aaliyah homage. She looked hot. She looked so hot.
Even in that brace, she looked hot. But also, I totally looked on her Instagram because I wanted to see her makeup because she had glitter in her eyebrows, which I almost did today. But she's doing this super cute photo shoot with no neck brace on.
She's getting that Disney money. WWE is her side hustle now. She's like, I don't give a No, but she came out, she's showing some Jedi work with the whole like kendo stick. Well, I thought it was cool. And then when she threw that chair at Bayley, that was some full force throwing.
Like, I almost liked her beating up Bayley more than Bayley beating up Sasha. Like, it was a little bit more viciousness behind it. But if we were going to see Sasha again, they should have had her, like, beat her once, and then Bayley just keep on beating her up because she's in a neck brace. Like, what kind of champion are you if you get beat up by somebody in a neck brace?
Remember, Asuka vanished. She was like, I'm out of here. I'm done with this.
Yeah, I was like thinking to myself, I was like, is she gonna help? Like Sasha? Like, is she gonna help her since she's in the neck brace? I'm just like, where's she at? Where'd she go?
And she's
just like, this is my second time wrestling. I am out of here. I need some water. I need a nice salt bath. Gosh, I'm sick of carrying this roster.
Do you think Bayley versus Sasha is going to happen at Hell in a Cell?
I guess now it has to.
It doesn't make sense with the neck injury because those take a long time to heal, but it seems like that's what they're setting us up for.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed seeing Sasha, but I just wish that we didn't see her so soon.
Got it. Because a lot of people are expecting this to be a WrestleMania program.
Yeah, I wish that we didn't see her so soon because it should be a WrestleMania program, quite honestly. I don't think they should touch or have a match before that. Like, how long did it build up for them to break up? And now they're all of a sudden they're going to have the big blow-off match already? You know, stretch it out some more. I know we were complaining earlier of stretching out too much. Now we're complaining of not stretching out enough. What do we want? But it's true, though. I just feel like it should be, I don't know, a little bit more. I didn't want to see her so fast. Not because I didn't want to see her, just storyline purposes.
I think it was cool that they ended it the way they did because of what's happening. They have to use what's in their immediate disposal. I do agree that we saw Sasha a little bit too soon, especially with the neck brace on. But if they are like setting this up for a pay-per-view, I do agree, like we shouldn't keep seeing them clash because they're just giving away all the good stuff. We want them to save up all the good stuff for the pay-per-view.
The only issue with Bayley and Sasha waiting until WrestleMania is that puts SmackDown Championship in hostage. And we've seen Bayley basically face everyone. Honestly, even with this whole like Nikki Cross versus Bayley match, we had no expectation going into this because like obviously Bayley's gonna win because of the Sasha Bayley feud potential. So I understand, like, yes, we want to see it for WrestleMania, we want to see it for WrestleMania main event, yes, but I think that just hurts SmackDown women's division so much because they're all just have to wait there until this wraps up and they're all just sucking their thumb. I don't know, like almost I just kind of want to see like a big blowout match and maybe wrap it up or maybe feud it without title.
Yeah, that's what I want to see because this feud does not need a title. So definitely do this without the title. Build somebody up right now to have the title drop to, and then don't do it without the title because it doesn't need it. It doesn't add anything to it, quite honestly.
I just want to see the sweet revenge.
Are the Jedis all about revenge or no?
No, they're about keeping the peace.
They're gonna tell us about Yoda again, or
here is the child. I also have Dobby from here. I don't know. I just like these little elfy creatures.
Overall, Clash of Champions. Honestly, I've had a great time though. Being with Paloma, partying there, but Roman Reigns shirtless.
We were living for that. Like, we could not stop talking about.
Honestly, highlight of the night.
Like, I think we said this is hot like 10 times throughout this match.
I've never been so into a men's match.
It was intense. We talked about moving to New Zealand because there's a lot of really hot Samoan guys there.
Overall, pretty weak night for the women, especially because, I mean, this year is a lot of pay-per-views. Women have been just driving them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a bit of a low, but, you know, we will be expecting a lot maybe in Hell in a Cell. Sasha versus Bayley.
What a world that we live in, that having 2 women's matches in a pay-per-view is a low point. I love it.
Count our blessings.
By the way, something flawless is happening this weekend because I am flying out to LA to meet Layla, which I'm so excited about. I'm also actually interviewing Jazz tomorrow.
Yay.
So this is a big week for me. But if you also want to meet Layla this weekend, if you're in the West Coast, come to LA's The Wrestling Guy store and I'll be there. And Layla's going to be there too. And then we'll have a great, great time.
I cannot wait to see that interview because I feel like Layla is one of those like super exclusive people that doesn't do every single interview. So I'm super excited to see it.
Oh, no, this is officially her first and only interview since her retirement.
That's awesome!
It's pretty awesome. So super, super excited about it. But thank you everyone for joining in for the Night of Clash of Champions. Did I say Night of Champions multiple times? Thank you so much for joining in for Clash of Champions review. Paloma, where can we find you?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter. And my birthday's a week from today, so buy me stuff for my wish list, which I will be plugging.
You can find me across all social media platforms at that's THEE, Moxie Molly. And Paloma, I didn't know we could share wish lists. You gotta tell me how to do this.
And you can find me at Diaz and Ring the Bell Diaz on Twitter. Alright, see you soon. Bye.